Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's get into TNA Impact from September the 4th, 2024. A pretty okay show. This was the fallout from Emergence, and we are building towards Victory Road next week. So we have some news and notes to go over. It involves Giselle Shaw and Step the Lander, which both of them were on this show. But we'll talk about that when we get to that part in the review. So we kick the show off with the lame-ass system. So they all come out. So Alicia Edwards, she's booed. Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, they talk about regaining the tag team title belts, and they said that they're going to have their rematch clause be at Victory Road against ABC. So JDC told the fans to shut up. Moose said he would beat Nic Nemeth for the TNA World title at Victory Road. Moose said that if he and JDC won their tag team title match, if they won their tag match tonight, then he, that being JDC, would officially become a member of the system. However, if they lose, he's out of the system, and they're going to take him out. Okay, who gives a shit? Alicia Edwards, she said that she's still under concussion protocol, so she's going to find a suitable replacement. Spitfire, they came out, that being Danny Luna and Jody Threat. So Danny Luna noted that Alicia's team lost at Emergence. Alicia told them to go back to the dive bar that they climbed out of. Jody Threat asked for a title rematch at Victory Road and said if Spitfire loses, then they would break up. And then Alicia, she agrees to the match. So who cares about this shit? We all knew that this was going to happen anyway. I think that the mystery partner or the suitable replacement for Alicia Edwards is probably going to be Killer Kelly. So we're going to have MK Ultra reunite. That would make the most sense. It's very, very plausible. That's the only way I can see this actually working out. Then who would win there? I would go with Spitfire. Or I would go with MK Ultra, because Spitfire could break up. And, you know, I would love to see Danny Luna as a singles star. I think she would do pretty well. So, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on. So Gia Miller, she interviewed Eric Young. Ugh, he sucks. So Eric Young talked about losing to Steve Maclin. Eric Young said he respected Steve Maclin and he has his back going forward. He talked about his match tonight against Jake something. Who cares? Fuck this. Moving on. So we get a clip of JBL showing up at Emergence to talk to Nic Nemeth. So Tom Hannafin and Matthew Raywall, they said that Nic Nemeth hasn't told anyone what JBL said to him at Emergence. So I guess they'll talk about that next week. So, yeah. Moving on. So this leads us into our first match of the night. It was actually thrown out. So it was supposed to be Kushida versus Laredo Kid, but Josh Alexander, he came out and he beat the shit out of both guys. He also put Kushida in the ankle lock. So it led to a no contest. So Kushida, he got on the mic and he challenged Josh Alexander to a match. And then Kushida, he went up the ramp and he had a little mini brawl with Josh Alexander. And then Santino Marella made the match official. So Josh Alexander defeats Kushida via the C4 spike for the 1, 2, 3. And I think post-match, Josh Alexander beat down Kushida some more. He put him in another ankle lock, I believe, I think. I wasn't really paying attention. Well, actually, I was. It's just, I just can't remember. Moving on. So, backstage, Hendry, he helped Kushida as the referee called for medical help. Hendry and Josh Alexander, they got into it verbally. Hendry said that he'll never forget what Josh Alexander did to him at Slammiversary. So that's fine. So this is building up for their eventual match at Bound for Glory in October. That should be fun. Although they could do it at Victory Road, but I doubt it. I would just build up that story for a while. That's what I would do. Because we all know that Josh Alexander is going to be leaving TNA anyway. Like, it's a done deal. You know, when his contract is up in, I was about to say July of next year. I didn't mean to. I misspoke. But when his contract is up in January of next year, we already know he's definitely going to go to Scott D'Amore's new promotion, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. So, yeah. Moving on. So, Jordynne Grace, she showed up, and she was getting ready for her open challenge when my girl, our girl from NXT, Ariana Grace, she showed up. She had on a Miss NXT sash. So she introduced herself as the new liaison between TNA and NXT. And then she introduced Carmen Petrovich, saying that they were best friends and everything. So really good stuff there. I'm glad that Ariana Grace is there. It's great. She's the daughter of Santino Marella. So hopefully we get more out of this. And just made for entertaining television, if you will. So really good shit there. So Jordynne Grace, she defeats Carmen Petrovich to retain her Knockouts Championship. She wins via the Juggernaut Driver. Rosemary was in the rafters looking down, watching this. So Jordynne Grace wins. So the lights, they go out post-match. And then Jordynne Grace is laid out. There's a pillow in the ring. When the lights come back on, Rosemary, she's laughing in the rafters. So basically, it's probably going to be Jordynne Grace versus Wendy Choo next week for the Knockouts Championship. That should be kind of fun. Interesting. Moving on. First Class, they interrupted an ABC promo. ABC noted that they've already beat First Class, that being Casey Navarra and AJ Francis. So AJ Francis said that they had beaten ABC before, but ABC said it was an illegal win. ABC then challenged them to a match next week for the TNA Tag Team Championships. That's fine, I guess. Moving on. So, we get a bizarre promo from a female wearing black. We don't see her face. She speaks in either Chinese or Japanese. And what she said was, from now on, there's no turning back. So, we probably are getting Xia Li. That's what it seems like to me, and I'm down for this shit. I am a big fan of Xia Li. Xia Li kicks major ass. Hopefully she shows up at Victory Road. That would be good, and you could set up her and Jordynne Grace at Bound for Glory. Or you could also bring in her and Mandy Rose at Bound for Glory. I would bring in Mandy Rose at Bound for Glory. You have Mandy Rose take on Jordynne Grace. Since she's still doing the open challenge thing, that's what they're going to have her do still, going forward probably. But I do think that when Jordynne Grace loses, she'll lose to Mandy Rose or Xia Li at Bound for Glory. So that's fine. Because Jordynne Grace's third title run as Knockouts champion, her third reign, it's been kind of dog shit, if we're being honest. But I do think that the woman that was revealed here was definitely Xia Li. Had to be. Moving on. So Zachary Wentz, he came out for a promo. He talked about being at his lowest point 2 years ago, but because of the fans, he was able to regroup and to win the X Division championship. So Mike Bailey comes out, and he congratulates Zachary Wentz. He says that Wentz is now one of the best of the best, and he said that he's going to reenact his rematch clause at Bound for Glory. So the Lame Ass Good Hands, they show up. So John Skyler, he insults the fans and said that Jason Hodge was the real star of the Ultimate X match. So the Good Hands, they attack Zachary Wentz and Mike Bailey. And then Jay Chung, the announcer, the ring announcer, she said that Santina Morella had made a tag match. So that's fine. So this leads us into Zachary Wentz and Mike Bailey versus the Good Hands. So Zachary Wentz and Mike Bailey, they win. So that's fine. Who cares? So post-match, Mike Bailey, he handed the exhibition title to Zachary Wentz after the match, and he raised his hand. Speaking of Mike Bailey, a little bit of news on him. Apparently, it seems like he's on his way out with TNA, which is fine. This makes perfect sense. He'll probably immediately go to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. So this will probably be his last match at Victory Road. I assume that Zachary Wentz will obviously retain at Victory Road. That's fine, you know. Mike Bailey going there, it makes perfect sense. Same thing with Josh Alexander. Actually, same thing with a bunch of people on this roster. So yeah. Moving on. Steph DeLander, she was backstage and told PCO to stay in the dressing room. Moving on. So Rosemary, she had a promo. She was in a cage. She said that the Hive was returning, and there are clips of Wendy Choo. In the end, she blew out a candle. That's cool, I guess. Moving on. So Steph DeLander, she came out. She cut a promo. She talked about Matt Cardona running her wedding and her honeymoon. So she called him out. So Matt Cardona came to the ring. Steph DeLander said that they used to be best friends and tag team partners. She asked why is he doing this to her. So Matt Cardona said that he owed her an apology. He said that he was sorry. He was sorry that he didn't crash the wedding earlier, and that she actually married PCO. Steph DeLander told her not to disrespect her and that he didn't own her. He said that that's where she's wrong, and he pulled out a contract. He talked about pulling her out of obscurity and talked about all that he had done for her. So Matt Cardona said that Steph DeLander is his property, and he owned her. So she thanked him for all that he had done, but she worked hard to put herself on the map. She said she would be a superstar with or without him. So she threw down the contract, and he said, Matt Cardona says that she has to do whatever he tells her to do. So the PCO came out, and he got into it with Matt Cardona. So basically, Matt Cardona, he hid behind Steph DeLander, and that was it. Who cares? This is so lame and boring. Like, fuck this segment. It's dumb. Steph DeLander, she has signed with TNA. So she's with TNA, so that's great. So, excellent stuff. Moving on. So the Hardys, they're backstage. They cut a promo. Matt Hardy talked about all the tag titles that they've ever held. They talked about facing Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards next week. Matt Hardy said he started hearing people say that they were great. He said they are great. He wanted to get the TNA Tag Team Championships to prove it. That's fine. Moving on. Landmass Eric Young defeated Jake Something. So post-match, Jake Something attacked Eric Young, and Steve Macklin came out to make the save. Who gives a shit? Fuck all this. I do not care, not one damn bit. So this leads us to the interview between Hendry and Gia Miller. So Hendry talked about losing unfairly. He said that he has the TNA Championship to chase, and so Gia, she smiled ear to ear. So that's cool. So they're having Hendry go after the TNA World Heavyweight title once again. That's fine. Makes perfect sense. He's going to be champion, probably at Bound for Glory for sure. So that's cool. Moving on. So Tom Hannafin, he announced that TNA signed Heather Reckless as the newest knockout. And she said that she's going to face Giselle Shaw next week. So Heather cut a promo, but asked for elegance, and George Iceman, a.k.a. the concierge of my bad, not Dana Brooke, but asked for elegance, interrupted her. So, George Iceman said that Heather could be a success if she was like Ash. Giselle walked in. Giselle and Ash for elegance got into it. Giselle then slapped Ash, and everyone left. And Heather looked on stunned. So that's fine. So Giselle Shaw has officially been released by TNA. It was mutual between both parties. That's fine. We know that Giselle Shaw was dating Scott D'Amore, so she will probably go help him out with Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Moving on, main event of the evening, The System, which is Moose and JDC. They defeated Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. Not a shocker there. And so JDC is now an official member of The System. Who gives a fuck? Fuck this shit. Moving on. So Nic Nemeth, he closed the show. He was shown backstage, looking at the matchup on his phone. He congratulated Moose. He said that he's a fighting champion and that Moose is taking every easy way out. He said at Victory Road he would beat Moose because it's killing him that he didn't pin the man that was the best. Nic Nemeth said Moose would never take him out, and that was the show. So this is fine. TNA was fine. So okay stuff here. Victory Road should be an okay pay-per-view, but we'll have to wait and see. That's what it seems like. So, are we gonna get any more surprises at Victory Road? I don't know. Hopefully we do. But what did you guys think of TNA? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.